we we are still in the mix. We are still working with Kyle, and our intent is still the same. I mean, Kyle Busch is our 60 home run hitter, and we'd be foolish not to put everything in play to keep him in the family, and that's what we continue to do.
But haven't you done that at this point? I mean, if you haven't done that at this point, then shame on you, right? Because what more is there to do when you say you would do everything? I would suspect you would have done everything 3 months ago.
Well, okay. Everything is comprehensive. We have a role. The manufacturers play a role. Toyota has a role within the garage. We don't own drivers. We don't own racing teams. So within the reasonable bounds of a manufacturer in the sport, we are doing what we can to try and keep Kyle in our family. Hey, this is not just an offensive consideration. I don't want to race against a pissed off Kyle Busch. And he, wherever he lands, he's going to do some damage. And but as I've said before, as I said to you, Dustin in Chicago, it's been a lot of heavy lifting, and that hasn't changed.
David, is it a situation where things are just changing daily? Like maybe things are making progress and then something comes, like, is that what it is?
It's very dynamic. It is very dynamic, Kelly. You're absolutely correct. And each week, each couple of days, brings a new twist, a potential new opportunity, and we run these down to the ground, and again, hopefully, one of these irons will catch, and hopefully one of these opportunities will manifest themselves. I have no doubt that Kyle Busch will be driving a Cup car in this sport next year. The question is where and for whom. To that, Jordan, the contract offers and terms and all that are private matters, and yeah, I've got nothing to.
He said that Toyota doesn't own teams, doesn't own drivers. There's going to be the critics, and I'm sure you've already heard them, of why doesn't Toyota just step up and pay Kyle so they don't lose him? Explain for people why that doesn't happen.
Yeah, I see that all the time, and this comes back to my comment. We have a role to play in this sport, and from the time that we came in here, from the time that we started racing here at the beach in 2007 in the Cup Series, we have respected this sport, and we've respected the position and the responsibility that we have in this sport. And it is not a responsibility wherein we are puppeteers and again own drivers or racing teams. Race teams. Joe Gibbs Racing has a contract with the driver. We do have relationships with every one of our drivers. It's called a personal services agreement, and that is because they are all ambassadors for us. But it is not our role as a manufacturer to backstop. I mean, that's just not what we do. It's just not what we do.
Do you guys have a development contingency plan if you guys lose KBM on the ARCA side, the Truck Series side? Is there plans in place to have your drivers go through a different path?
Yeah, Matt, you know how important our driver development program is. Kyle Busch Motorsport is arguably the crown jewel in the place of the Truck Series. For that, we, as I've said before, part of my responsibility is to contingency plan, to be strategic. We have to look out at the horizon, at the what if scenarios. Right now, our plan is KBM is going forward because Kyle is in a Toyota. But certainly the good news is we have other relationships in the garage, obviously in the Truck Series, and we're fortunate to have almost an embarrassment of riches in the Truck Series. So if circumstances are such that KBM is not running, Toyota will be okay, and we're confident that we can continue to take care of our young drivers.
Is there a point beyond which, both I guess with Kyle and with Kurt ultimately, is there a drop-dead date where you need to know one way or another to fish or cut bait?
Yeah, that's a great question. There's not a line in the sand right now. I think, I think that will kind of self-determine ultimately because, wherever Kyle ends up, with whomever Kyle ends up, that entity will need the time to cement that. So I think it's going to happen organically. I can't see it going, deep into the playoffs.
So since 2007, where does the whole struggle of trying to keep Kyle, where's that rank for you and all the hurdles that Toyota has faced in the Cup Series at least?
Well, Daniel, that's an interesting question. Of all the things that I am responsible for, what is most impactful to me are the people. It's not the box score. It's the people, the partners that we are engaged with in the sport. Kyle can be an unlikable individual. We all know how polarizing he is amongst our fan base. But he's a human being as well, and we take this very seriously. We know how difficult this has been for him, and it put great responsibility on ourselves. I just want to see Kyle in a good place. I hope it's with Toyota, but what's most important is that he lands on his feet, and he and his family are in a good place.
You mentioned sponsorship and maybe Kyle's polarizing personality. Has that been an impact on maybe securing a sponsor?
Of course, absolutely. We say every week, it's not good enough in this sport at the highest level to be the best driver. Tell me, you're not going to find. I mean, Kyle Busch is a conversation for the greatest of all time. Again, he's our 60 home run hitter, and he's in the process of breaking every record the sport has ever seen. That's not good enough in this sport. You need corporate America. You need sponsorship to drive this ship, and whether that's a good thing or not a good thing, that's not for me to say. That's fact. So it has been a challenging environment. Some of that is just organic to the current economy and the inflation, recession, whatever you want to call it. Some of that is absolutely, again, the polarizing nature of some drivers, and they don't fit every sponsor.
He's been in the last 3-4 weeks as cooperative and as outgoing and as free-flowing with his commentary as I think a lot of us have ever seen him. Has that been something that's come at the request of coach or yourself to try and give you a little help to find him some help?
Absolutely not, Dave. And that's I'm glad you said that. He's been an absolute prince. He has been arguably charming, and he knows how to do that, and he knows at his core that he's auditioning for somebody, and he's well served to be that Kyle Busch. It's been fun, and here's what I'll say: is it's not just in front of you guys. It's on an interpersonal level as well, and he is making an effort. He absolutely is.
David, when you come to a track like this, you can see the financial. Obviously, having six cars, you can have some financial benefits from it, but also at a track like this can have some disadvantages. Are you guys, regardless of what happens, are you guys stuck at 6 next year? I mean, is that the number?
For next year, yeah. We toyed with a 7th earlier, but it doesn't look like there's a scenario where it's more than 6 cars.
Hey guys, I need to pull him for a live interview quick, and we'll come back out.
Okay. Jared Haas with Frontstretch.com. Make sure to hit that subscribe button. Also, check one of those 2 videos out that we have right beside you. Visit Frontstretch.com for more great content.